Good afternoon. So, welcome you all to the first lecture of power electronics. Before starting the subject, we will highlight some point in energy scenario in India. What are the need of studying power electronics? How it is different from analog electronics? Because you have already studied analog electronics in the previous classes. Then how power electronics is different from the analog electronics? So, before starting the subject, what I expect from you is you should have some knowledge on, that is network theory, some basic knowledge on network theory, some of the concepts from signal system, basically from Fourier series, some trigonometry integration, and some concept of machine to understand the concept of power electronics in deeper way. If I classify the total syllabus, the total outline is, first we will discuss what is introduction, what is the need of studying power electronics, and next we will study, that is power semiconductor devices, which is known as heart of the power electronics, because without studying the power semiconductor devices we cannot study the power electronics. The nextly, AC to DC converter means input is AC and output is DC. I am giving the input as AC and I am getting the output as DC. What is known as, this converter is known as, this is known as what? Rectifier. This is known as rectifier. We will study that. The next is, we will study DC to DC converter, means input is DC and output is DC. This is known as chopper. This is known as chopper. Similarly, we will study DC to AC converter, means input is DC and output is AC, means this is known as inverter. You know what is inverter is, okay. So, we will study what is inverter. And next is AC to AC converter, means input is AC and output is also AC. It is basically, one is we will study it very clearly. One is controlling voltage, also known as AC to AC controller, and one is controlling frequency. First is controlling voltage and one is controlling frequency, and is known as what? Cycloconverter. So, as we proceed to the classes, we will go detail in what is rectifier is, what is chopper, what is inverter, and what is AC to AC converter. So, what is the reference book I can suggest is, you can follow PS Bimra, MS Rashid, and also you can see the NPTEL video. These two book, PS Bimra and MS Rashid, is available in our library, okay. But still I expect from you to buy this book, that is PS Bimra. So, let us start the subject, okay. So, if I see the what is the energy scenario in India, so basically I am getting the energy by burning of fossil fuel, which is contribute to around 87%. I am getting the energy by burning oil or maybe natural gases or maybe coal, and which is contribute around 87%, and nuclear is about 6%. So, 87 and 6%. So, generally 93% I am getting from fossil fuel and nuclear, and remaining 7% I am getting from the renewable energy. So, if I am considering only on fossil fuel, so most of the energy I am getting from burning of coal, and most of the energy I am getting from burning of coal, means most of the power plant are thermal power plant. So, most of the energy I am getting from coal, means most of the plant are thermal power plant. But the concept is, listen, the oil, natural gas and coal is not renewable. In some day definitely there will not be coal. It is expected that coal is last up to 200 years. So, my question is, if coal is expected to around 200 years, then what is the our energy scenario after 200 years? Will the wheel of civilization come to halt after 200 years? Look, I don't have any answer, but what is our responsibility? Our responsibility is to make a good future or better future for the generation to come. So, we have to what? Extend this period, because we have limited energy, we have limited coal supply, we have limited natural resources, we have limited oil supply. So, we have to extend this period. So, we have to what? Extend this period. Then how can we extend this period? The concept is by using it efficiently. I am having limited energy. If I am using it efficiently, I can extend this period. If it is extended up to 200 years, then I can extend up to 300 years, okay. So, one is using it efficiently, another is improve the conversion efficiency, because in most of the cases I am using different conversion equipment. Suppose I am converting AC to DC or DC to AC, like that. So, second is improve the conversion efficiency, and last is increase the percentage of renewable energy, because I know that renewable energy does not contribute to any air pollution also. And if I see the different fossil fuel, it is generally contribute to air pollution and also different climatic changes. You can see the different change in pattern of the rain pattern in India. You can see the flood condition in Bihar and also Assam. today news also I have seen the flood condition in Mumbai and also in Gujarat also. So if I increase the percentage of renewable energy, definitely the energy requirement can be get through renewable energy. Okay. So if I see the general energy flow diagram, so I am burning the fuel here, so I am having turbine here. So if the turbine blade is rotating, if I am burning the fuel, turbine blade is rotating because of steam, because fuel due to fuel I am getting the steam, and in the steam the turbine is rotating, and the turbine is connected to generator. So generator is generating energy, and most of the load is very far from the generator. Suppose I am considering the Uttarakhand state, the Tehri dam suppose is nothing but generator, but Gopeshwar is suppose load. So Gopeshwar is very far from Tehri, so I am transmitting the energy from that is Tehri to my Gopeshwar through transmission line. So I am using transmission line. So if I see the energy flow from fuel to this load, most of the energy losses from this end only, that is from fuel energy and that steam power plant. So 65% of the energy loss generally in the front end. Okay. So that means suppose I am sending 100 kilowatt of fuel energy, I am getting only 15 to 20 kilowatt of useful work in the load side. So most of the energy loss in the 65% in the front end. So you may have doubt that as most of the losses in the front end means at this end, then why I am asking about to increase the conversion efficiency and use the energy efficiently? Why I am telling, because most of the energy is in from the front end at this end, but why I am telling that increase the conversion efficiency and also use the energy efficiently, because most of the energy equipment, that is equipment, motor and generator, is connected in the load side only. The concept is, if I am saving the energy 1 kilowatt at this point, I can save 6 kilowatt of energy at this end. Clear? If I am saving 1 kilowatt of energy at this load point, I can save up to 6 kilowatt of energy at the fuel side ends. So if I am saving 1 kilowatt of energy load side, I can save up to 6 kilowatt of energy, 6 kilowatt of fuel energy. So definitely I will look into the conversion efficiency and use the energy efficiently. Okay. So what is the majority load if I consider? What is the majority load in India or globally I am telling? So majority of load is induction motor driving a fan type of load or either a pump type of load, and most of the also lighting. So a considerable amount of energy is generally consumed by lighting, and one is induction motor driving a fan type of load or a pump type of load. So if I save the energy from this induction motor driving a fan type of load or pump type of load or lightning, then I can save energy of globally, because most of the energy load is, majority of the load is, that is fan type or pump type or lightning type of load. Okay. So let us take a simple example. Okay, suppose I am having industrial fan here, it is one fan here, and a fan is rotating, and one is, this is fan type of load, and one is suppose, and this is suppose pump type of load. Okay, here the water is discharging, and here I am having a motor, it is connected to supply. In the first case, suppose my objective is to reduce the discharge of the fan, because the fan is rotating, I am getting the air discharge from here. My objective is to decrease the discharge of the fan, and here my objective is to decrease the discharge of water. So how can I get the decrease the discharge of fan? Simply by using damper. Suppose I am using a damper here, so discharge of the fan is reduces here. Similarly, how can I decrease the discharge of water here? Just use a throttling valve here. If you rotate this, then definitely the discharge of the water is decreases. Objective is solved. If I am using the throttling valve here, if I am rotating here, the water discharges decreases. My objective is solved. Okay, but my question is, okay, you are using the throttling valve or you are using the damper while you are decreasing the air discharge, here you are decreasing the what? Water discharge. Your purpose is solved, but what is the input? Input is always same here. Here input is not changing, input is constant. Here also input from the supply is constant, here from the input from the supply is constant. Okay, but what I am telling is, this fan is rotating due to motor, this also water is discharged through a motor. So suppose I am decreasing the speed of the motor itself, then definitely the discharge of the water and the discharge of the fan is decreases. If I am controlling the speed, then definitely the speed is decreases, means what? I can say what? My discharge of the fan is decreases, and also I can say my discharge of the water is decreases. So if you remember, what is the torque speed characteristic of a fan type of load? I know that torque is directly proportional to omega square. Okay, in the fan type of load, the torque is directly proportional to omega square. Okay, tell me what is power? You know power equal to torque into omega. Okay, then power is equal to omega cube. I can say power is directly proportional to omega cube. Okay, suppose I am writing here omega 1 by omega 2. It is in the ratio of 1 by 2. Okay, so suppose one is rated speed, 1 is divided by 2, means speed is decreases. Okay, then what is the ratio of power? Anyone tell me what is the ratio of power? P1 by P2, it is 3 times, so definitely it is 1 by 8. So what is the conclusion is, if I am reducing the speed here 1 by 2 time, then power is 1 by 8 time, means if I am reducing the speed half time, then power will be reduced 8 time. Are you getting? If I am not using any if I am not reducing any speed, but just by using damper winding or throttling valve, my objective is solved. I am discharge to the pump and the discharge of the fan is reduces, but what is the input? Input is always remain constant here, but by reducing the speed here, look, by reducing the speed here, my power input is also reduces by 8 times. So if power input is reduces by 8 times, I can say I can save the energy now, because if I am reducing the speed now, my power is reduces, power input is reducing, means I can say I am what? I am decreasing the energy requirement for the supply. Clear? Then the concept is, how can I decrease the speed? How can I decrease the speed? Then what is the concept of induction motor? The concept of induction motor is, the rotor is always rotated close to the synchronous speed. We know that the rotor speed Nr is very close to synchronous speed. So if the synchronous speed is decreases, the rotor speed also decreases. Then what is the relation of synchronous speed in terms of frequency? Ns equal to, we know that 120 F by P. So if I am changing the frequency here, definitely I can change the synchronous speed. If I change the synchronous speed, definitely I can change the rotor speed. So definitely from this concept, I can see I require some frequency conversion device. I require some frequency conversion device so that I can change the speed. If I can change the speed, I can change the power. So the power requirement is decreases. So next we'll discuss, that is induction motor directly connected to supply. Suppose this is my supply, and suppose this is induction motor which is connected to the utility grid. Okay, it is also known as direct online starting. So we know that if the induction motor is directly connected to supply, initially it will draw heavy current, generally in the terms of 6 to 8 times or 12 times of the rated current will draw from the supply. So definitely this current has to supply from the source, because it will draw the heavy amount current which is supplied by the source only. So see, at this point, I am looking at this point, suppose this potential is V, and at this point the generating voltage is suppose V1, then what is the potential here? What is the potential B? So V is nothing but V1, that is supply voltage, minus I into what is the resistance of the transmission line. And I know that if I am connecting a induction motor directly, or that is known as DOL, direct online starting, a heavy amount of current will flow. Due to this heavy amount of current, voltage at this point is very low, so I can say I am having some voltage dip. So and also this heavy amount of current is flowing through this induction machine, so definitely stress of the machine is also increases, because this heavy amount of current is flowing through my induction machine. So definitely the stress on the machine is increases, because this current has to flow through the different winding. So I can also say the life of the machine also decreases. So I can say what? The life of the machine is also decreases. Similarly, what is the, suppose I will tell you, then what is the EMF equation of induction motor or normal machine? What is the EMF equation? You know that is equal to 4.445 Ft. What is the number of turn? Okay, so in this case, if I am neglecting the losses, E I can compare up to B. So B equal to, I can write that is 4.445 Ft. Suppose I am neglecting the losses, I can say E equal to B. Okay, in this case 4.44 is constant, number of turn is constant. So I can say, as 4.44 is constant, number of turn is constant, so I can say V by F is directly proportional to, that is flux, that is V by F equal to direct is proportional to flux. If I am suppose without changing the voltage, if I am reducing the frequency, look carefully, if I am not changing the voltage, if I am reducing the frequency, then this total torque will increase, because it is V by F. If I am reducing the frequency here, then this torque will be increases. So this means that the machine will demand high inrush current. So this high inrush current is very dangerous for the device. So if I am decreasing the frequency, I have to decrease the in the same proportion, that is voltage also, so that the flux remain constant. So in this case, if I am initially without using direct online starting, suppose I am reducing the frequency in the same proportion, if I am reducing the voltage also here, then definitely the inrush current is decreases. If the inrush current is decreases, then definitely the voltage dip will be eliminated, the stress of the machine is also reduces, and the life of the machine is also increases. Are you getting? Because voltage dip is not creating only the problem to my induction machine, but also creating problem to other load, because here other load is also connected. Definitely in the transmission line other load is also connected, so definitely it is also affected by this voltage dip. So by decreasing the frequency voltage and by decreasing the frequency in the same proportion, I can say my voltage dip will be eliminated, my stress of the machine is reduces, and also the life of the machine is increases. Okay. So you may have doubt that, sir, it is in the starting only it will draw heavy amount of current. Suppose I can say, if I am saying that machine is fed by constant voltage and frequency, that is, if I am not changing any voltage and frequency, it is directly connected to supply utility grid. Suppose this utility grid, and this is suppose the load. Okay. So if I am telling, if I am not changing voltage and frequency, here I am maintaining the voltage and frequency constant, then what is V by F ratio? If voltage is constant and frequency is constant, then V by F ratio is also constant. If V by F ratio is constant, so I can say my flux is also constant, because flux is directly proportional to V by F ratio. So as V is not changing, frequency is not changing, so definitely V by F ratio is constant, so I can say my flux is constant. Okay. If the flux is constant, what is the core loss? You know that is core loss is directly proportional to flux, so core loss equal to constant in this case. Why constant? Because this machine is fed by constant voltage and frequency. Here I am not changing voltage, here I am not changing also the frequency, so that I can say what? I can say here the core loss is constant because the flux is constant. Assume my load is varying. Here I am connecting one load and load is variable in nature. If the load is varying, so definitely my variable loss is also variable, because my load is varying and variable loss is depend upon the load. So the load is varying means variable loss is also varying, keep on changing. Okay. So let us see what I am telling. Suppose at the light load condition, what I am telling, suppose the load is at the light load condition. If I am telling it is at the light load condition, then what is the variable loss? Is very low, because light load means what? The current drawn is less, means the variable losses is also less. But what is the core loss here? Is high, because it is connected to what? Constant voltage and frequency. Then what is the condition for maximum efficiency? You tell, what is the condition for maximum efficiency? I know that the condition for maximum efficiency is what? That is equal to variable loss equal to constant loss. I know that. Okay. But in this case, at the light load condition, my variable loss is very low, but constant loss is generally high. So I am not getting any maximum efficiency here. At this case, I am not getting maximum efficiency. Then how can I get the maximum efficiency? Because what is my objective? My objective is to increase the system efficiency and use the energy very efficiently. This is a concept here, because if I am using the system energy, if I am using the increase the system efficiency, definitely I can save the energy, so I can extend the period. Okay. So if constant loss is more, so if I can change the if I have changed the flux, so definitely what? My core loss will be reduces. Then how can it decrease the flux? By changing the voltage and changing the frequency. If I am changing the voltage and changing the frequency, then the flux requirement will reduces. If the flux requirement is reduces, then I can say the core loss is reduces, and if the core loss is equal to variable loss, then system it is having maximum efficiency. Okay. So to have maximum efficiency, I should have one devices which can change the voltage also and which can also change the frequency. Clear? Let us take a simple example of our regular fan which are used in our house only. Okay. So how we are controlling the speed? How we are controlling the speed? By using this regulator. By using this regulator only we are controlling the speed. But inside it, what is there? Suppose this is my fan and and this is the regulator. Inside the regulator only the resistor is there. Okay, by using the resistor only, by changing the resistor position only, I am controlling the speed. Here I am giving the supply. Okay, here I am giving the supply. So suppose you require full speed, you just connect at the 5 position, because you require high speed means what, this position is at the 5 position, so you will get a maximum speed. Means if this point is connected to 5 position, there will not be connected any resistance. If there will not be connected any resistance, there will not be any voltage drop here. So the total voltage will be appear across the this fan, so we will get maximum speed. Okay, suppose you want to reduce the speed. Suppose you want to reduce the speed. How can the speed is reduced? The concept is, you are giving 220 volt supply, just do not give any 220 volt supply here, just reduce the voltage here. How can you reduce the voltage? Use some resistor here, so that the voltage drop across the resistor will be there, so this voltage appear across the this fan, this motor will be less. Okay, suppose this position is at the 1 position, you will get minimum speed. You will get what, minimum speed. So this point is connected to 1 here, so total resistance will be utilized. So this 220 volt, some amount of voltage drop will be appear across, and the less amount of voltage appear across here. Suppose 220 volt is applied here, suppose here 110 volt is drop across the resistor. So what is the voltage here I am getting? 110 volt. So the reduced voltage is getting, so the fan speed is reduces. Okay, so basically in the regulator, in the previous regulator which are using in the household, inside is resistor is there. If the resistor is there, definitely heat dissipation will be there, so it is mounted externally outside the board. So look, some holes is also there, so that what, heat can be easily dissipated to the atmosphere. But due to the advance in the power electronics, look now what is the type of power electronics devices. It is by using this I can directly mount it inside the board only, no need to mount it outside the board. By using this device, by using this regulator, I can smoothly change the speed, and this is known as nothing but TRIAC. We will see in the coming classes and how TRIAC will be useful to controlling the voltage. The device is directly controlling the voltage and not using any resistance here, so that it is mounted inside the board, because there is no problem of heat dissipation. As it is using the resistor, so definitely heat dissipation will be there, so it is mounted outside the board, and also some space will be there, so that heat will be dissipated outside the atmosphere. Clear? So I have already told you I have 3 choice, that is increase the what, increase the system conversion efficiency, use the energy efficiently, and next is use the renewable energy, use the renewable energy. Okay, suppose if I see the general our grid structure is, it is a supply system, and here it is load, and the energy is transmitted to the transmission line. Basically I say that the generating system is very far away from the load center. Suppose this is Tehri Dam and this is our Gopeshwar. So the Gopeshwar is very far away from the Tehri Dam, and it is the energy transmitted to the transmission line. But the what is the energy scenario in the future trend is the distributed generation. Means suppose I require the energy here, just install some of the energy here itself. Suppose this is a Gopeshwar, I want, this is here my college, and I want some energy here, just install here some of the plant here. So the concept of this is known as distribution generation. Means here I can install solar energy, here also I can install wind energy, so that I can directly utilize the energy from solar or wind. Okay, suppose I see the solar energy. Okay, I am not discussing about what is the initial cost and what is the criteria and what is the different difficulties. Let us not look into the different criteria, but what I am telling is what is the solar output. What is the solar output I am getting? Solar output I am not, I know that solar output is DC, but what is the energy I am utilizing here is AC. I know that what is the energy utilizing here is AC, but what is the output of solar I am getting is DC. So definitely I require some energy conversion device, so that it is so that it can convert DC to AC, that is known as inverter. By using what renewable energy sources also, I require some energy conversion device, so that I can use the energy efficiently. Okay, similarly suppose I am talking about the wind energy. Suppose I am talking about the wind energy. So definitely we know that, suppose this is the, you install one wind power plant. Okay, you install some wind power plant, but you know that the wind velocity is not always constant, it is keep on changing. I cannot guarantee that wind speed is always constant, it is varying time to time. In the night time it is maybe high, in the daytime it may be low, so you cannot guarantee that wind speed is always constant here. Okay, so the wind speed is always keep on changing. So what is the problem here is that if the wind speed is keep on changing, so I can say the generator is variable speed generator, because wind speed is changing means the turbine speed is also changing, no? because wind speed is changing means definitely the turbine speed is changing. The turbine speed is changing, so I can get a variable speed generator. So a variable speed generator, the speed is changing, so definitely I am getting the variable voltage and frequency. Definitely the turbine speed is not constant, it is changing, so definitely I am getting the voltage also is not constant, it is keep on changing, and the frequency is also changing. But what is the grid utility? It is connected to grid, but what is the grid utility? I know that I am having constant voltage and also I am having constant frequency. So definitely I require some power electronics devices so that it can change the changing voltage and frequency to constant voltage and frequency. Okay, so I require some interference in between renewable energy sources to have some desired output. Okay, so basically if I am say what is the definition of power electronics is, I can say the power electronics is the technology associated with efficient conversion so that it can easily efficiently convert of the different energy and control of electric power by power semiconductor device. How can I control the electric power? By using power electronic device. So I repeat, what is power electronics is? Power electronics is the technology associated with efficient conversion and control of electric power by power semiconductor device. So I am having one sources here, I am having one load here. So to have efficient conversion, to have increase the efficiency, I require power equipment devices in between source and load. If I am using the power equipment devices, I can what? Increase the, I can control the flow of energy. Okay, and what is the power electronics devices inside this? I am having some what? Power semiconductor devices. So you have already studied what is analog electronics is. Okay, so what is making the power electronics different from analog electronics? If you see, so what is the voltage, what is the operating voltage of the analog electronics? We have seen some millivolt or volt range, but if I see the power electronics, it is in the range of volt to kilovolt. The voltage, operating voltage level is high generally. Okay, similarly the current, the analog electronics current rating is very low, that is milliampere to ampere, but in case of power electronics the operating current range is high. So if the operating voltage range is high and current range is high, definitely the operating power range is also high here. So analog electronics, the operating what? Operating power range is low, but in the power electronics the operating what? The operating power range is generally high. So in today classes we have discussed the energy scenario, the need of increase the efficiency and the conversion efficiency. We have discussed different issue in electrical engineering. We have studied definition of power electronics and how it is different from analog electronics. So basically you have seen that to have increase the conversion efficiency, because I am having limited amount of coal supply, natural gases, oil, so I have to increase the what? We have to extend this period. So how can I extend this period? We can extend the period by using the energy efficiently, by increase the system efficiency, because we have seen that if I save the energy 1 kilowatt in the load side, it can leads to 6 kilowatt of energy, fuel energy in the front side. So definitely I will look into the system conversion efficiency and to use the energy efficiently. And how can I achieve this? By using the power electronics devices. By using the power electronics devices, I can use the energy efficiently, because it can control the electric power by using semiconductor device in the effective manner. So in the next class we will discuss ideal and practical switch. Thank you.